everyone. The time now is 10:49 here. Want to come on for a quick update as Tropical Storm Erin is now officially formed. We wanted to bring you that live here. New forecast now coming out, now calling for Erin to become the first hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic season here as we now start to pivot our way into the peak of hurricane season. We won't keep you long here. We'll have all the details on WNBFnews.com with that updated web story, but also on the First Alert weather app. But I can already tell many of you coming in here, so let's go ahead and get to the latest data as we're giving you the First Alert and tracking Hurricane Erin eventually. Right now, Tropical Storm Erin has formed, and you'll notice, if you look off there, the coast of Africa, it is sitting there just starting to have that center of circulation, starting to work into some warmer water and a more favorable environment that is going to start to push its way to the west. Now, this is moving to the west right now at 20 miles per hour, and if we go ahead and highlight where this is, we'll put the pointer on there for those that are curious. Here is where Tropical Storm Erin is officially located. Notice still well out in the Atlantic, but going to start to meander its way to the west. Right now, winds of 45 miles per hour pushing through, and that eventually going to be working its way to the west here. And as it does so, will turn into a hurricane and likely turn into a hurricane fairly quickly. So the tropics looking like this. Here's your forecast track. Notice through Tuesday, tropical storm still expected, but eventually now forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane by Wednesday night. Wednesday at 8 p.m., we're holding on to 80-mile-per-hour winds. It is a Category 1 hurricane and a track that, if you've been here long enough at the Grand Strand, probably one of those that are going to catch your eye. It is due west, working its way and strengthening as we go into Thursday, as we go into Friday, and then eventually becoming our first not only hurricane, but major hurricane of the 2025 season here. Forecast to become a Category 3 hurricane by Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. So this is going to be something that we're not talking about for a couple of days, but talking about for at least a week, week and a half, as we continue to watch the latest data and the guidance that's coming through. Once again, if you're just now tuning in, Tropical Storm Erin has formed. It is forecast to become our first hurricane of the 2025 season, and the current forecast goes out till Saturday morning, which still puts it in the Atlantic off to our southeast as a Category 3 hurricane with 115 mile-per-hour winds. Like I said, we're going to have much more throughout the day on our free WNBF First Alert weather app. We have WNBF News at noon coming up here in about an hour. We also will have an updated web story on WNBFnews.com. I want to show you those forecast models real quick before we go, just to give you an idea of that track that the National Hurricane Center has released and where we could be looking at this storm go from there. Most models like the turn to a north at some point, and I think it's going to really dictate on that area of high pressure and just how strong that area of high pressure is. A stronger area of high pressure will continue to track Erin more to the west. A weaker high will allow Erin to actually turn to the north a little bit quicker, meaning little to no impacts for us here in the East Coast. At this point, we're not calling for any direct impacts in the Carolinas, but I do think it's something that we will need to watch as we go into this forecast. So we'll leave you with a view of this. There is Tropical Storm Erin sitting its way just off the coast of Africa, once again expected to become a hurricane in the next 48 hours, and will begin to push its way to the west as we head into the forecast here throughout this week. Of course, for all things weather and news, you can stay updated with us by downloading that First Alert weather app, our news app, or going to WNBFnews.com, and you'll notice there, as mentioned, right at the top of your homepage, there is the brand new web story as Erin has formed in the Atlantic. Our team's working around the clock to make sure we keep you updated and informed, and everything we just talked about can be found right there on our free weather app as well. For now, enjoy your Monday. We'll have much more on Erin and the tropics as we go throughout the day here on WMBF News.